Hey guys, Put here bringing you the third game from week number 3. And I did record this one live as well, but I think it'll be better just to do it this way. And it'll also be shorter. So it'll be short, sweet, and to the point. And let me just make sure I got everything fixed here. Alright, so let's just go ahead and jump into this battle. So we got Matt's Mudkips taking on Josh's Jigglypuffs. And I'm still going to need Josh to get a shorter name because his name is peeking out over his logo and it's driving me crazy. But anyways, let's look at Josh's team here. We got the Tangrowth, we got the Gengar, we've got the Snorlax, the Haxorus, the Togekiss, the Arcanine, and then on Matt's side we got the Mew, the Rotom Wash, the Skarmory, Terrakion, Empoleon, Typhlosion. So let's just start it up. Alright, so on turn 1 we see the Skarmory versus the Gengar, and Gengar's just going to fire off a Focus Blast. I don't know what Josh's full moveset here is. I'm surprised he's not running T-Bolt, considering that T-Bolt can hit Empoleon and Skarmory for super effective, and it's less risky of a move than Focus Blast, as Focus Blast is only neutral, so T-Bolt would have definitely dropped him to sturdy at least. But anyways, he gets his rocks up, and then I'm surprised he didn't switch, but at the same time it makes sense for him to just let his Skarmory go down, because he could have switched into Mew and taken that Focus Blast pretty easily since it's resisted and it's not stab. But he didn't know if it was Scarfed Gengar, because if it's not Scarfed Gengar, then on the next turn he can just Shadow Ball, and it'll Focus Blast plus the Shadow Ball could be enough to finish off the Mew. So I can't really blame him for not switching into Mew there. And like his Terrakion doesn't want to take a Focus Blast, his Empoleon doesn't want to take a Focus Blast, his Typhlosion doesn't want to take a Focus Blast. Rotom Wash, it's probably, well, he could be running physically or especially defensive in this game. Either one would have been fine, but you know, it doesn't really want to take the free damage either, so he just lets his Skarmory go down. I can't really blame him for that one. And also, you know, Focus Blast has a decent chance to miss, so he's probably firing off maybe Spikes or maybe a Brave Bird to do a lot of damage to Gengar. But either way, I don't think that was too bad of a play. It was a pretty good lead for Josh, though. Anyways, let's keep playing here. So out comes the Terrakion, and Josh doesn't want to stay in, and he goes out into Fuzzcuzz Tangrowth because this thing completely walls Terrakion, as you see here. So he's going to withdraw, and he's just going to go into his Mew, as Josh is going to get off a Giga Drain that actually does a lot of damage, and is able to get some HP back, plus leftovers. Plus Regenerator means that this thing has taken absolutely 0 damage, which is silly. So out comes the Snorlax, and he eats that Ice Beam like it's no problem, as this is Life Orb. Yeah, we got Life Orb Mew here, so it's probably a fast, like max speed, max special attack. Holy cow, my brain just went blank there. And I actually like that set against Josh's team, mostly because if you look at his team, he only has like one Pokemon that outspeeds this thing right here. But anyways, let's keep playing. So then Josh has the Pursuit with the Snorlax. Snorlax is just so good against psychic types, because most psychic types are special attackers, so he easily eats up their hits. As long as they don't carry Side Shock. Side Shock can be a problem for him sometimes, but like he can eat up their hits pretty well, and then he can Pursuit Trap them really well as well. So yeah, the Mew, like Pursuit Trapping that Mew is huge there, because Mew actually does pretty good work. Like he can take on the Tangrowth pretty well. It can take on the Arcanine fairly well probably, and even the other two, because it has Ice Beam, and Josh has 3 ice weaknesses. So if he's able to get rid of, the Gengar, as long as the Gengar's not out in play, that's fine. Gengar can't switch into the Mew. It's too dangerous. He just needs to get rid of the Snorlax first before he brought out the Mew. So maybe just bringing out the Mew a little bit too soon there, but I can't blame him for not seeing the Pursuit play coming, because that's not like really a common set for Snorlax. But anyways, he goes back into Terrakion here. And on the live video here, I said Matt's gonna double out to Typhlosion here, because Josh's obvious play is to Tangrowth. Like, he has no reason not to go Tangrowth. So he does double, and it's a pretty nice play, because now the momentum is on Matt's side. And I think he's just gonna fire off well, actually, Tangrowth's just gonna protect and scout here as he sees the Fire Blast. And he just goes ahead and withdraws into his Doggo. And of course it's Flash Fire Doggo to cover the weakness of Tangrowth, so that's a super strong set there. And then he's going to fire off the Overheat, which is boosted, and he gets the crit too. I actually don't know how that works, like with Flash Fire and crit, because I know if you get a crit and you have damage boost, it's actually like, it doesn't take into account the damage boost that you have. So if you're like +6 and you get a crit, you actually do less damage. So I'm not sure if flash fire and crit, like any of how, I don't know how that works, to be honest. So I don't know if that's like the flash fire boost and the crit boost. I have no idea, but still, that does a ton of damage. And because he has, and he has white herb, so he doesn't actually lose his special attack. And he just fires off a close combat here, just to finish off the Empoleon. So he's got one huge threat out of the way in the Empoleon as the Rotom Wash comes out. And yeah, even though especially defensive Tangrowth special defense isn't very good, he eats up that Hydro Pump pretty well. And I think he's just going to fire off a Giga Drain. It doesn't do much here. But with the Giga Drain recovery and leftovers, I'm surprised he didn't protect there. I thought he should have protected there just to scout again. As he does go for hidden power, I believe Ice. So that is resisted. But it's doing more than, but he's wearing this Doggo down. But then it has Morning Sun. So now Doggo's back in a good position. So a nice, let me pause it real quick, a nice adaptation from the week before when Josh brought Arcanine against Samuel, and he wasn't able to keep the Arcanine alive because he just got worn down too quick. So this week he ran Morning Sun to make sure that it didn't get worn down as easily, and it worked out great for him. So anyways, he goes for the Overheat, and this actually does a ton considering this is probably, I'm guessing this is physically defensive, but then it takes quite a bit from that close combat too, so I'm not sure. As the Hydro Pump does finish off the Doggo, but the Doggo has put in some really good work. So out comes the Snorlax, and the Rotom can't really touch this thing, as the return does finish him off. I believe this is Choice Banded Snorlax, because that did so much damage, holy moly. So then he's just going to go right back into Tangrowth, has no reason not to. As Tangrowth actually takes a lot of damage here. 34%, but because of the leftovers, he can still live another one. So he does have to make the switch into Typhlosion. And that he gets a crit on the Giga Drain there. And so Josh should just protect here. I believe this is Scarfed. This might be Specs. I don't know. I don't know which one it is. But he has locked himself into a move every single time. As he does switch out back into this thing here. And he gets a sleep onto this thing. If he would have gone for a Giga Drain there, that would have been huge. But he wasn't going to go for that because Typhlosion resisted anyways. Because a Giga Drain would have probably just killed the Terrakion. But anyways, he does get another Giga Drain off here. He's getting back to full. Matt's just having a hard time breaking through this Tangrowth. As he gets the Fire Blast miss, which is pretty unfortunate there, considering that it does finish off on this play. But I guess it doesn't really matter because he does get a crit, so that kind of makes up for it, I guess. Because I'm not sure if the crit would have without the crit would have killed. So let me pause it real quick. So Josh goes into his Gengar here, and he for some reason goes for a Dazzling Gleam instead of just firing off like a Shadow Ball or Sludge Bomb or something. I have no idea why he does this play because it's resisted, and then he dies to a Fire Blast. So now he's kind of put himself in a tough spot, and now he actually has to make some plays to win. Where he could have just killed the Typhlosion and then had all that would have been left was Sleeping Terrakion that gets completely walled by Tangrowth. So that's what he should have been paying more attention to. He got a little bit greedy trying to kill both of them with Gengar when all he needs to do is focus on killing Typhlosion. Because if he kills Typhlosion, Tangrowth easily can 1v1 Terrakion, no problem. But anyways, he just starts spamming Outrage on Haxorus here. So then out comes the Typhlosion, and the Focus Blast does kill the Haxorus there. So I'm thinking this might be Specs actually, because that did so much. Now the Focus Blast here almost kills the Snorlax, but he's able to take him out with the Earthquake. If that kills the Snorlax, this might get interesting. I actually have no idea how much Tangrowth would take from a Focus Blast. He doesn't have the best special defense, but he was at 80% when he got withdrawn, so he'd have been full health, I think, actually. So I think he still would have been good as far as the win goes, but it may have only been a 1-0. He definitely could have secured at least a 3-0 if he just focused on killing Typhlosion instead of letting Gengar go down to it. He could have possibly got a 4-0. Just depends on how many sleep turns Terrakion would have gone through. Because I think Gengar probably just needed like a couple of hits to kill him. So he could have got the 4-0. He only ends up with the 2-0 because of his misplay. But still, a win's a win at the end of the day. It was a good game from these guys. We got one more game from week 3. Peace.